Released in 1972 and number 110 in the Masters of Cinema collection is The Offence, starring Sean Connery, directed by Sidney Lumet. This is a partnership of people who worked over 5 movies. Recently, I think it was this year, I watched the Anderson tapes, loved it. And this was one of those movies that I really wanted to get to, especially after the passing of Sean Connery. This is regarded as a really good movie in his CV, and I felt that it was time to go and check out something new from the man. And wow, The Offence is utterly wonderful, shocking, disturbing, a movie that's going to stick with me, one that I was just gobsmacked by Connery's performance, and a movie that is really simply laid out. You know, it's basically a movie with 4 various parts. We have the opening of the movie where we're introduced to our main character, Detective Sergeant Johnson, which is Connery, and he is investigating a series of child attacks and murders, and we see early on that someone is abducted. We don't see by whom, and then we have the repercussions of finding the girl. She's still alive, and they find a perpetrator, someone they think could have been involved in this case. And that's like one sort of scene at the start of the movie. Then we have chat with his wife after his day at work, the things that have happened, what's going on. Then we have a chat with one of his bosses who's interviewing him about the offence that's happened, and then we get a kind of flashback sequence at the end of the actual interview and everything that happened during that. Simply placed out, it's an easy movie to grab hold of, but the performances, the information and the thematics that they are rich and so wonderful to really get drawn into. This movie opens with a wonderful slow motion sequence as we kind of see things unfold, as we see Connery has done something heinous. He has attacked and almost killed a person of interest in a case. Within this interview room, we see the body getting wheeled out, and then we get Connery going home to his wife. And this is where the movie really kicks into gear, as we start to see a man on his drive home as someone who's been affected and warped and disturbed by all these horrible things that he's encountered throughout his work life. Kind of things that has wore him down, that's almost desensitized him, but has a deep emotional effect on this character, who's almost broken this character, who has lashed out and been violent because of the things that have been prevalent within his life. And getting home to his wife, it was a wonderful scene as he's drinking, as he's conversing, as he's bullying her verbally. He is horrible to his wife, and it's this ritualistic, systematic abuse that's throughout the movie. It's things that he's seen, things he's seen people do, that's now eaten into his life, and now he's driving it on to his wife. He is nasty to her in the most aggressive way, you know, challenging her looks, just pointedly bringing her down. And there's a moment where she walks away angry and upset, and without saying anything, the actress just stops in the hallway. You almost see her thinking about it and going back into this character. It's a feeling of a real relationship. She knows that he's damaged. She knows that something's happened that's really tore him down, and she wants to go and help him. And even though he's being antagonistic and aggressive towards her, she pushes that aside and tries to help him get all this stuff off his chest. And some of the things he says are visceral and disgusting and horrifying, and the way that Connery portrays this is magical and in such a way of getting across this information as he jumps about. It's not a proper stream of consciousness. It is all over the place. As things pop into his mind, he's verbalizing it and constantly just barraging this woman with disgusting and horrifying scenes that he's encountered. We get the conversation with his boss, or one of his bosses, who's investigating what happened, and that leads down a whole other route of him being in the other foot of the interrogation, him being questioned, not knowing where he stands, not realising that this person is some points trying to help him, some points trying to push him into a corner. And it becomes an almost battleground of wearing each other down, and it's done over a period of time, and it's wonderful. And then we get the interview with the suspect, and it's a wonderfully aggressive scene as we see these two people just releasing their utmost ids, and you never know whether this guy was innocent or guilty. It doesn't matter. It's all about the systemic acceptance of abuse throughout the movie. And I think that Connery is utterly magnetic in this role as this character who is a little bit older, a little bit overweight, a little bit of the old guard who is aggressive in almost all wards of his life, who has had this waterfall of abuse just beat him down and tear him down and remove him from humanity almost, as he tries to cope with the things that he's done and what he's seen people do to each other. Utterly affecting, and the direction by Sidney Lumet is wonderful, especially that slow motion opening. The way the movie is cut is delightful, particularly the opening scenes and the interview sequence as well. It's just terrific, allowing the scenes to play out when they need to be, using of angles to create some nice juxtaposition of the characters as they're like on screen. There's a wonderful moment with Connery and his wife, which for me is just a standout moment in the movie, which is an elongated moment where Connery's facing one way and his wife's facing another, and it's just wonderfully composed. The Offence was easily 5 out of 5 movie. It's a movie that I will never forget. It's a movie that I think is essential viewing, and possibly, if not the one of Connery's best movies. It's that wonderful. Do yourself a favour, search it out, check it out, and let me know your thoughts on this movie in the comment box below. I can't wait to read what you lovely film fanatics have to say about this, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.